Hey, happy, beautiful, amazing evening. I'm Dr. Bob Rakowski here out of Houston, Texas, with tonight's conversation on success. So, over the course of the next 30 minutes or so, I have three goals. I want to make this time worthwhile for you. I want to share strategies that absolutely work and have been proven time and time again. And then we're even going to give you a list of actions that you can take today to make you more successful. So first, a wonderful announcement. We have a BU special. If you buy any $300 worth, that's US, of products, you get these BU products. BU makes you beautiful. You know, if you look at this beautiful skin on the left and the one that's much more aged on the right, the difference could easily be the right type of skincare for decades, and BU is definitely that. One way that you can even save more money is if you look in your back office under kits and sets, and that will maximize your savings. So a little bit about me and my background. I'm a family man, been married for 33 years. I have three wonderful children and two beautiful granddaughters. And by the way, another on the way. I've been in clinical practice right at 30 years. I've treated world champion athletes from every major professional sport. I've also seen the other end of the spectrum, and I have taught continuing education seminars to doctors all over the world. So my life took an interesting turning point when I had a shoulder injury and I had a frightening x-ray report. So literally the x-ray report arrived at my office as I was about to leave town. And it literally said that they saw multiple lesions in my proximal humerus, and they were recommending a bone scan. Well, I've got to tell you, if you ever read that on a report, and you know what it means, you get very concerned. If it's your report, you are beyond concerned. So literally, I started thinking, what if my time is running out? My kids are not in a position to take over my practice, to take over my lecture circuit. How am I going to take care of my family? Well, the answer was actually right in front of my face: build organo. And I've done that wonderfully. Kelly and I are a great team, but there's our graph of our team growth over now 9 years. And you'll see that it's been a consistent line. And why is it consistent? We consistently work, we consistently learn, we consistently apply, we consistently promote. And we're going to share those strategies with you. Last year in December, we attended this event, the Virtual Go Pro. I believe that Eric Worre is the best skills trainer in the game. And he had 5 areas that he wanted to train on: mindset, skills, strategies, leadership, and game plan. And those are the topics of tonight's conversation on success. So Eric has said he would like people to believe bigger, faster. And think about that for a moment. If you don't believe that you can do something, you're not likely to do it. Classic story from Tom Big Al Schreider. He says, you know what, I'll give you $1 billion if you'll go outside and pick up your house with your bare hands. Well, most people aren't even going to try. Why? Because they don't believe that they can do it. Now, certainly that's an impossible task, but building a network marketing business is something that we all can do if we apply ourselves and learn the skills. So Eric had us create a graphic that says, I am deserving, I am worthy, I am capable. And by the way, we are all of those things. And once you get that, you can start building your business. So this is a book entitled The Big Leap. I think there's such wisdom in this. And I'll read a little bit of the write-up to you right now. It says, each of us has an inner thermostat setting that determines how much love, success, and creativity we allow ourselves to enjoy. When we exceed our inner thermostat setting, we will often do something to sabotage ourselves. Now, I want you to think about that. And you've probably seen that in your own life or maybe the life of friends. But we want to continually grow ourselves, grow our thermostat so that we can expand for really our entire existence and serve the world. So when you look at this classic Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, massive project, interviewed 500 richest people on the planet. But here's what the summary of the book is. Our thoughts lead to our actions and lead to our results. And most will agree that the majority of our thoughts are subconscious. So we have to change that subconscious programming in order to change our results. Bob Proctor is an absolute master of what he calls the paradigm shift. And he says, if you want to get better in your life, the first step is an honest assessment of where you are. And here's what he'll say. The problem is your ignorance or denial of where you are. So when you look at building a multi-million-dollar organization, or however much of an organization you want to build, I think a lot of people think, okay, we've got great products, we've got a great company, we've got great leadership. This ought to be super easy to do. But I promise you it's not. And so most people think they're probably, near the top when they're probably right about here and not even knowing what they don't know. So if you haven't built a multi-million-dollar network yet, you want to plug into these trainings, you want to plug into your leadership, you want to continually learn and expand, and we'll provide strategies for those. These are 4 ways where you can start to change your subconscious programming. And Jim Rohn tells the story about the day that he was so disgusted, he realized he needed to change his life. So a couple little Girl Scouts knocked on his door. They were selling cookies. He was too embarrassed to tell them he didn't have $2. So he lied to him. He said, sorry, girls, I already bought cookies from my niece. Well, I'm not even sure that he had a niece, but when he closed that door and walked away, he said, how low can I sink? I just lied to Girl Scouts. So at that point, he said, okay, for things to change, I need to change. He adopted a mentor. And in the next 6 years in network marketing, he became a multi-millionaire. So we can use the Michael Phelps example, which is epic. Train hard every single day. In fact, train harder than everybody else does. And by the way, if you train hard, you need to recover hard. And then finally, something like wonderful love and full presence into where you're going. That's another great way to change your paradigm, to change your subconscious. So when Eric Worre talks about the 7 skills, here they are: finding prospects, inviting, presenting, following up, managing objections, starting strong, and promoting events. And I'm going to give you a crash course in all 7 skills. I love this book, The Art of Connection. And when we start talking about prospecting, when we get connection, here's what Michael Gelb says. The meaningful relationships that come from real interactions are the basis of success. So you want to have a meaningful relationship. You want to have real interactions, not superficial. And we'll talk more about that later when we talk about strategy. When it comes to inviting, I really love Richard Bliss Brooke and his authentic networker and authentic inviter. And here's what he says. You want to make a genuine connection with people. You want to listen. You want to get an understanding of where they are and where they want to be. And, someone might say, my gosh, I'd really love to be able to do more for my family, but my back's against the wall. I work as much as I can, and I don't really see making any more money. And then there could be the if I could show you a way where you could earn money in your part-time that ultimately could grow to a successful business and replace your income, would that be worth 15 minutes of your time to check it out? And there's an invitation. Now, some people have a challenge inviting for themselves. I had this epiphany in the team training this week. Some people have a hard time saying, look, I have a business that I want to grow, but you all have a friend or connected to someone in this company that literally wants to change the world. Whether we're talking about Paul Caldwell or Bernie Chua or whoever brought you into this business, you can quite simply say, I have a friend that wants to change the world. And I told them that I would help. So that could lead to an invitation to coffee. Do you drink coffee or tea? My friend has this amazing coffee. I'd love to make you a cup. I'd love to get your feedback. Let's see how you enjoy it. Or if you want to invite to a presentation, this is more of a friend invite, but I always like Jim Rohn's language. He said, you know what? You're my friend. I don't care if you join. I don't care if you buy, but I do care that you listen. Right now I'm averaging 3 in 10, but you can be one of the 7, right? So Look at it that way. Your friends should invest a little bit of time to learn what you're doing. Number 3 is the presentation from the commands of Talk Like Ted. Thou shalt tell stories. It's said that facts tell, stories sell. So we want to become a collector of stories in a way where we can share the stories. And ultimately, we want to match the story to the prospect. So some say there are 4 major types of personalities, maybe 7 human needs. Ultimately, you want to find a story that matches the demographic of the person and the need or challenge that they're going through. And that creates the best possibility of the person's seeing themselves in a position where they can make this work. Next is follow-up. We used to say the fortune is in the follow-up, but I find out that a lot more people have challenges with money than they have with blessings. So really the blessings are in the follow-up. Imagine how much better someone's life would be if you provided them a consistent better choice, or many consistent better choices every single day, or an opportunity to make their life better, their family life better, their friends, their community's life all better. And remember that timing is everything, especially when you look at all that we have to offer. People want to feel better. They want to look better. They want to live longer. Most of them are drinking coffee or tea or hot chocolate or shakes. They want to have beautiful skin. They want to travel. They want to have a better brain. And we offer all of those things. But there's a time when people can hear what we have and a time when they can't. So timing is everything. Find a time to connect with the prospect when the timing is right for them. Number 5 is managing objections. And I always found this conversation from Eric Worre very, very, very insightful. He says there really are only 2 categories of objections. Either the person doesn't believe in the business model, and we can easily get around that, or they do not believe in themselves. And that can be more of a challenge and an ongoing process. But Eric created this documentary called Rise of the Entrepreneur. They interview over 25 global leaders, and they all agree that the network marketing model is a better way. Some of the featured speakers, Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, Sir Richard Branson, Paul Zane Pilsner. I become a progressive fan of Grant Cardone. He's in a documentary called Undercover Billionaire. He went to a town where he didn't know anybody. He didn't have his identity. He didn't have any money, but yet he had 90 days to build a $1 million business. And here's what he said. The surest way, and maybe the only way to do that, is to partner with an existing company with good products. Well, that's what we all have the ability to do. So you look at Organo, they've done the research and development, they've done the legal and compliance, they do the accounting, the customer service, the shipping and receiving, they do the global expansion. What do? We share products and services that we absolutely love, and we share a business model. And this business model has been successful around the globe for over 70 years. Next, we want our distributors to start fast and finish strong. Start fast, start strong, finish strong. How about every single day? Fascinating statistic from Eric Worre. If distribution partners earn even $1, just $1 on their very first month, then there's an 80% probability that they will still be in the business 6 months later. If they don't earn that $1, that probability goes down to 20%. So I was at a mastermind in Eric's living room, and I asked him, okay, so we want to get little wins and we want to build on them, and especially early on, but can the win be too small? And he said, no, quite simply not. No, a win is a win. You get someone to win, and that starts the process of success. So little wins are the secret to big successes. I really like Fraser Brooks. I've read his books, I Dare You and I Double Dare You. It's kind of his biography and autobiography and how he succeeded in network marketing. but he talks about 7 steps to create a bridge from, he actually called it loser land to success land. I don't really like to call it loser land, but how about rut land to flourish land? And here were his 7 steps. So first and foremost, you want to use the products every single day. He says early on, and until you're on that flourish land, you want to connect with your support line every single day. You want to attend some type of presentation or event every single week. At the halfway point, you want to get a customer every single month, a new distribution partner every single month. He says you want to talk or listen to your founder or your CEO, so Paul or Bernie. And I've got to tell you, every conversation that I have with them deepens my commitment to helping them reach their dreams, which is to make the world better, to share the treasures of the earth with the people of the earth. And then finally, to really, really get cemented in, you attend an organo convention. There's nothing like the convention, even virtual, to see how people are succeeding all over the globe, to see how strong we are, to see what a support staff we have. I have to tell you, this most recent Unite, I think, was most powerful for me in seeing how much we have all over the globe in terms of support. Skill 7 is be a master promoter. Don King is the classic there. He earned more than almost any boxer, but never, ever, ever took a punch. And here's the rule about events. If you attend events, you're going to learn a lot, but if you bring your team, you're going to earn a lot. And so if that's your goal, you want to become a master promoter of events. So I like this as a metaphor. You know, this is a beautiful slice of chocolate cake, 7 different ingredients in it. And then notice as we look at the ingredients, the magic that puts it all together is you got to add the heat. And events absolutely add the heat. That's the thing that brings all the components together to bring you from really a collection of thoughts and pieces to something that is an absolute masterpiece that works and the world wants. So again, I will encourage you to attend events, promote events. It's been the secret sauce of our team. The next major event that I'm aware of that's generic, this is Marina Wari. It's the most powerful women in network marketing. And by the way, it is absolutely free. Now, is it for women only? No, it's focusing on women because women make up the majority of network marketers, but it is for everybody. Go to www.mpw2021.com and register absolutely for free. And by the way, it's time sensitive because there's a certain amount of bandwidth that they can get for this event before they have to purchase more. And at that point, it'll transition from free to a paid event. So register now. So now we're going to be on strategy. We covered the mindset. We covered the skills. I love Fraser Brooks' strategy. And he says, here's what he likes to do in order. Number 1, collect friends. You want to make a friend, right? As he says, I want to turn strangers into friends and friends into family, but make a friend. After you've made a friend, then you want to collect a decision. And after you collect decisions, then you collect commissions. A lot of people want to fast track this process. Remember, we want relationships, and relationships are ultimately the key to success. When we look at leadership, I'll go with Peter Drucker. Even though he's a management guru, he certainly understands leadership, and I thought he made it very, very simple with this statement. Leadership is lifting a person's vision to high heights, the raising of a person's performance to a higher standard, and the building of a personality beyond its normal limitations. So you want vision, you want performance, you want personality. So when you start talking about vision, Martin Luther King, the greatest speech of all time, one of the greatest men of all time, he had a dream. And as so many people will say, notice he didn't say, I have a plan, I have a dream. Now that dream was much bigger than him and his lifespan. And it's still evolving, but what an absolutely beautiful dream. So Dexter Yeager is the most successful network marketer of all time. He earned over $460 million. And by the way, with Amway, he was capped out at $1 million a month. We have a team member that was personally sponsored by Dexter Yeager. And Dexter Yeager would always, ask the person, tell me about your dream. What's going on with your dream? How is your dream evolving? In one of his books, Don't Let Anyone Steal Your Dream. And that's really good advice. So when you look at these massive earners, Dexter Yeager, the greatest of all time, remember Mr. Bugs with Organo earned $68 million in 8 years. He showed us all what is possible. And then, you know what? He wanted to start his own network marketing company. And Organo said, awesome, we love you. We appreciate you. Go build, go enjoy. And I'm very grateful to Mr. Bugs for showing us what is absolutely possible. And by the way, he did it mostly with coffee and tea and shakes. And we have so much more now. Next aspect of leadership is performance. Just imagine that these guys, were creating a team and they wanted to pick you. I don't think you'd hesitate for even a moment. So when you perform and perform and perform and win and show that you know what it takes and that you can bring others along, then people want to join your team. If you don't perform, well, guess what? That's not very attractive. And then finally, personality. I doubt that when Sir Richard Branson was 2 years old, he had this kind of amazing personality, but it certainly has evolved over time. And it's said that charisma may be our secret weapon. And I love this book, The Charisma Myth. Notice the subtitle, how anyone can master the art and science of personal magnetism, which is essentially what charisma is. It's not that some were born with it or the lucky few. We all can develop charisma. 3 components. Number 1 is absolute presence. So when you're having a conversation with someone and they are there with you and they are listening with their mind and with their heart and their body language is forward, that is absolute presence. And that always deepens the connection. So I love this quote, smartphones are kryptonite for charisma. So if you're going to be having a conversation with someone, get that phone out of the room, put it on airplane mode, something. We do not want to be disrupted by these weapons of mass distraction. Number 2 is power. Now, you don't have to have superhero type power, but it certainly doesn't hurt. Now, if you look at the posture of both of them, they're tall, they're strong, their shoulders are back, they've got a look in their eye that's intense, and they look friendly. They don't look menacing like anybody, that we would be worried about. That's the kind of power that we want to bring to every interaction. Jordan Peterson's 12 rules for life. Number 1 rule, stand up straight with your shoulders back. Think about that. That puts you in a power posture. We know it puts us in a position of authority. We also know that it's really good for our hormones, right? It reduces our stress hormones and improves our power hormones. And then for charisma, number 3 is warmth. You absolutely have to have warmth. You have to care. So here's the formula for charisma: have presence, have power, have warmth. And that's the secret sauce of leadership. Develop these 3 characteristics and you will grow and your business will grow. And remember, we're all deserving, we are worthy, and we are capable. When that's going to be our winning mindset, our recipe when it comes to skills, we want to learn to prospect, we want to learn to invite, we want to learn to present or point to a presentation. The blessings are in the follow-up. We want to manage the objections. There are only 2. They either object to the business model, use Rise of the Entrepreneur, or they object to their ability to succeed. They don't believe in it. Well, we can help them in that process. We want to get them to start strong, earn $1 as fast as possible. And then events, that's the heat that brings all of the ingredients together, all the components. And by the way, what's the frosting on the cake? That's celebration and recognition. Remember, leadership, we need vision, we need performance, we need personality. And our strategy when it comes to building a winning team, we want to collect friends first, then we collect decisions, and then we collect commissions. So what's our daily method of operation? We want to be a product of the product, use organo products every single day, use the coffee, the tea, the shakes, the skincare, the travel, train your brain. Soon the cognition drink will be out. We want to every single day work to collect friends, decisions, and commissions. We want to build that pipeline. And once that's in place, all those things can happen on a daily basis. We want to make continual investments in ourselves in terms of mindset, skills, and leadership. As Warren Buffett said, invest heavily in your number one asset. Your number one asset is you. And then you want to promote something every day, become a master promoter, promote Zooms, promote trainings, promote promotions, promote events. The event coming up next, the most powerful women in network marketing. Register, whether you're a man or you're a woman. Remember, if you attend, you'll learn a lot. If you get your team to attend, you will earn a lot. So that's www.mpw2021.com. And remember our BU promotion. It's very, very healthy to keep your skin moist and nourished as BU does. And if you do that daily for decades, the difference in your skin can literally be night and day. And we have that fantastic promotion. Buy $300 US worth and you get the moisturizer and the jojoba serum. And by the way, you look in your back office under kits and sets and you can save even more money. And to wrap it up, as I always like to, I'm Dr. Bob Rakowski, absolutely knowing that we can all be happy, healthy, and successful.